Welcome to our latest video assembly. We're here in the hall again at St Chad's School, but this time we have something of the garden area behind us, the quad, and that's a good setting for our conversation today with Mrs. Ryan. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for agreeing to this conversation, which is going to be about the beauty of God's creation. And I think you have various areas of interest that you're going to tell us about today. Let's listen to the words of Pope Francis, who talks about our care for creation in a teaching called Laudato Si. The earth is God's gift to us, full of beauty and wonder, and it belongs to everyone. Let's put love for the world and love for our neighbours into action by living together in harmony and caring for nature. But the Pope has a word of warning for us too. He says the whole human family needs to work together to care for our planet Earth so that we sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. And he even tells us how we can go about this. He says, will you play your part to look after our common home? Can you take simple, everyday eco-actions to care for the earth by turning off lights, reducing water waste, and recycling? And will you live more simply, reducing the amount of things we buy and throw away so that we don't take more than our fair share? Mrs. Ryan, I think you probably agree with most of what Pope Francis is saying. Tell us what creation means to you and how you experience it each day.
So, Father, Tim and children, every evening I go for a walk. So I do that because I just love being outside, and when I'm outside I am at my happiest. I love the colours that I see, I love plants, the animals, I love the sounds that I hear, and I just relax and switch off. And it kind of helps me to stay healthy, so I've got some exercise, but also it helps my mind to relax, so it keeps my mental health healthy as well. So I start off, I come out of my house, I walk down the road, which is quite busy, lots of cars, and then I turn off onto a path that goes past a park, which has been really empty. Usually it's full of lots of children playing, but recently, obviously during the lockdown, it's been completely empty. Then I turn into another park, and I walk down a path that's just surrounded by trees. And once I get to that part, that's the part where I really start to just stop thinking about everything that's within my head all day. I look at the trees, look at the different colours of green in a tree. You'd be amazed at all the different colours of green there are. I listen to the birds singing and the noises, and everything just makes me feel really relaxed. Then the smell, so especially if it's been raining, you smell plants, the soil, the earth, and it just helps me to feel kind of really grounded, and just that I belong on a planet, and everybody around the world is on the same planet but in a different place. And it just reminds me that I'm part of that.
That sounds like your happy place.
It does.
And the things you've said so far make me think that when I go to the park, I want to walk around it as many times as I can quickly, and I would have noticed absolutely nothing of the smell, the sound, the colours, the different colours. The thing I do notice is autumn, the different coloured leaves of autumn. That's a different matter. We'll talk about that in the autumn, but I do notice that. But tell me, are there any animals that have come to life a little more during lockdown, those who have they've become a little more courageous to come out?
Definitely. So during my walks I've seen chicks inside trees. So chicks, you can hear them as you're walking along. Just had a little nose and I've seen them peeping out. We often see a heron, so a grey heron, which is quite a big bird. I've got some photographs and videos, so maybe the children will be able to see them during the assembly. The heron is, I guess, feeding because he's in a stream, or she's in a stream. And I just stand and watch what it's doing, and just think, wow, it's amazing that this creature is there, just, you know, getting on with life while the world is so busy around us. I often see a robin, so we kind of tend to associate a robin with winter and Christmas, but they're there in the summertime as well, so they kind of bob around and look to see, because I think they're quite territorial, so they're kind of, who's this walking through my territory? Yeah, so that, and a fox. Recently I've seen a fox creeping out of the trees, having a look to see what's going on.
How long could you stay by a babbling brook or a lovely flowing stream? Would you just stay there all day?
All day. I would stay there all day and just notice what's happening, notice the animals, the sounds, the changing light. Yeah, I could be there all day,
wow,
without a doubt.
Mrs. Ryan, you have given us so many reasons that next time we go out for a walk, whoever goes, wherever they go, mindfulness, taking notice, the senses on our walk. That's beautiful. We're going to listen now to a song which speaks of the amazing creation that God has given us. Indescribable. So, we've thought about walking and all that we see, but gardening is also a bit of a passion of yours, isn't it? And something that you've done all your life. So, I wonder whether you could just tell us what being in the garden does for you.
So, I'm lucky enough to have a garden, which is great. And especially during the summer, one of the first things I do when I get home, hang my coat up, bags down, hello, I'm home, straight out into the garden. I just like to be out there, have a look. I think the grass, because it's so green, it just calms, nice and calming. I look at my plants that I've planted to see how they're doing, to see if they're healthy, to see if I need to give them a little bit of extra water or anything that evening, especially if it's been a really hot day. I'll look to see if anything needs cutting back to keep it healthy, and deadhead, so that's taking off any of the flowers that have died off, because I know that will help the plant to grow and produce more flowers. And then I'll generally have a little check round to check there's bird food as well for the birds. So that's like my little thing that I do when I get home.
Okay, so can I ask you some questions? Firstly, do you talk to the plants?
I'm not
I think
addicted to that.
You can't win, because if you do talk to them, people think you're mad. But if you don't, might suggest you don't care. So you're allowed to say you do. Okay, well, the next question is, do you like being out in the garden in the pouring rain?
I will go out in the rain, yeah. I quite like being out in the rain.
Being outside?
Yeah, just being outside, I don't mind. I'm not a fair weather gardener.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to be outside when it's cold, when it's raining. I'll just make sure I've got my wellies on, and yeah, you get a wonderful feeling after you've finished gardening to look at. I've created this and I've tended this and it's going well. So.
And is it fair to say that when a dry plant or flower has been watered, it smiles?
It definitely does. I would admit to, maybe not talking to plants, but after I've watered the plants, if it's not smiling, I will keep checking on it until I see it smile. So I might, half an hour later, just have a look, is it looking a bit better? An hour later, I will do that, especially with my hanging baskets.
And it's not trying too hard, is it, Mrs. Ryan, to say there are connections between making little children smile and grow and be fed and watered and the plants. Now, in St. John's Gospel, chapter 15, Jesus says, I am the true vine. Every branch that does not bear fruit, he cuts away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes to make it bear even more. You are pruned already by means of the word I have spoken to you. So you've talked about deadheading the flowers to help them grow. Pruning is the same thing. And Jesus talks about us being pruned. So can you just remind us what pruning means?
So pruning means to cut back, to put away things that perhaps have died off, are no longer useful for the plant, so that the plant can get more nutrients and become stronger.
So you take away what is dead to bring new life. Death and resurrection, it's all in the script. So we're going to finish by listening to a song. It's called the Song of Ruth. It's from the book of the Old Testament, named after Ruth. And it talks about how on the journey of life we always walk together. The walking, the being in company with God and appreciating all his creation. So we're going to finish by making the sign of the cross. And thank you very much for the conversation today. Let us remember that everything we say and everything we do is done in the name of the Father, and of the Son,